This attack comes from Taiwan. Now that sounds like something having to do with missiles and jet fighters, but it's not.
That's right. In today's Taiwan Insider, an incredible story of soft power coming to you from the small island nation of Taiwan. I'm Andrew Ryan.
I'm Natalie So. Let's first take a look at what's been on our radar this week.
0. Tuesday was the first day in over a month with no new COVID-19 cases in Taiwan. The landmark Grand Hotel in Taipei marked the occasion in lights. No new cases emerged on Thursday either. 367 Taiwanese nationals who returned from China's Hubei province in late March have been released from quarantine. That's after they completed a mandatory 14-day period in isolation. They had returned on 2 charter flights organized by the Straits Exchange Foundation, a semi-official Taiwan body. The Labor Ministry has offered 10,000 temporary jobs to part-time workers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Most of these jobs are related to fighting the outbreak, things like distributing masks, taking temperatures, and educating the public on disease prevention. The Labor Ministry hopes to offer 60,000 more temp jobs soon. Vending machines are helping people buy their allotted number of masks. Customers need to bring their national health insurance card and a form of cashless pay. The machines will be available in all of Taipei's districts next week. Worshippers celebrated the birthday of Mazu, the goddess of the sea, on Wednesday. She's one of the most important deities in Taiwan. Although the annual procession was canceled, some celebrations, like this one in the eastern town of Su'ao, went ahead. The only difference was that all participants had their temperatures taken and wore masks. Under the radar, and under the sea this week, it's the annual spawning of coral off the coast of Taiwan. This annual spectacle often coincides with the birthday of the sea goddess Mazu.
And now for our words of the week. Andrew, ready to guess?
Yes. Pride, power, police.
Power!
Oh.
You're right. We have power here now. Well, we're going to be talking about how Taiwan's been using soft power to deal with challenges like being excluded from the World Health Organization.
Excellent. Are you ready for my word?
Yes.
All right.
Zodiac. No. Zero. That's right. We have 0 cases today. It's so exciting.
I figured as soon as you saw 0 as the Z, you would get it, right?
No, I didn't.
So we're so excited. This week, Taiwan saw for the first time 0 new cases of coronavirus. That was on Tuesday. And then we just heard again today on Thursday, again, 0 new cases of coronavirus. And did you see the Grand Hotel next to RTI that was all lit up? I want to show you a picture of that again. So that was lit up on Tuesday night in celebration. Of course, we don't want to celebrate too quickly. We want to still remain vigilant so that we keep this under control.
Yes, very exciting. Let's put these on the shelf.
All right. Now, I want to start off today by telling you about a hashtag that's gone viral in Taiwan this past week. It's hashtag This Attack Comes from Taiwan. Now, it may sound like it's about violence or missiles or something scary or dangerous, but actually, it's about this. People have been sharing images of scenic spots and foods from Taiwan. It's a soft power attack in response to accusations from overseas. Look at that.
Oh, I love those photos. And a crowdfunding campaign took this even further. They took out a full-page ad in the New York Times on Tuesday. In less than a day, about 27,000 people donated over twice the amount of money needed to fund that ad.
So what prompted all of those colorful pictures and now a full-page ad in the New York Times? Well, it was none other than the head of the World Health Organization, or WHO, who said that he'd been the target of attacks online and even racial slurs from Taiwan.
This attack came from Taiwan.
This is the comment that prompted a response from Taiwan. And here's the ad that ran in the New York Times on Tuesday. There's also an internet version. At the top of the design, it asks, "Who can help?" It's a play on words. You might recognize that's the same color and font used by the World Health Organization, or WHO. Down below, the answer to who can help is Taiwan. And the text reads, "In a time of isolation, we choose solidarity." And at the bottom, who can isolate Taiwan? No one, because we are here to help. Hashtag Taiwan can help. Hashtag Taiwan is helping. One of the people behind the crowdfunding campaign, Lin Zuyi, explains the design. At the top, you see what looks like a hole that you might fall into. Down by Taiwan, you see a door. If you compare the two, it's an expression of our contribution to the world. That's something that the world can judge for itself. President Tsai expressed her support in a post on Facebook. She said, Taiwan cannot rest on its laurels. We must use the spirit of Taiwan can help to share our experience with the world. Not only is Taiwan not a member of the WHO, during Tsai's term, China has blocked Taiwan from observing the World Health Assembly. Taiwanese officials have been campaigning to join the WHO, but they insist that they never sanctioned an online attack on the WHO head. Meanwhile, the WHO responded to the New York Times ad with a 13-point statement giving examples of how it's interacted with Taiwan. But Taiwan's representative office in Geneva said the statement was misleading the world to believe that the WHO has maintained full exchanges with Taiwan.
So why does Taiwan feel ignored by the WHO? Well, the WHO has rejected 70% of Taiwan's requests to join in its technical meetings. Also, earlier on Saturday, Taiwan's health minister released an email that paints a clear picture on the situation. And that's the topic of today's Taiwan Explained. In today's Taiwan Explained, I'm going to show you how Taiwan responded to the threat of the new coronavirus much earlier than the World Health Organization did.
All right, Natalie, we have a minute on the clock. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right, go.
Okay, this past Saturday, Taiwan's health minister revealed an email that Taiwan sent to the WHO on December 31st. It talks about 7 atypical pneumonia cases reported in Wuhan, China. The cases were believed not to be SARS, though it wasn't a direct warning. Officials say that health experts would know that the following phrase implies human-to-human transmission. Cases have been isolated for treatment. Taiwan acted on that concern, but the WHO ignored it. As we see from this timeline, on January 1st, Taiwan begins health inspections of passengers from Wuhan, but on the 10th, the WHO does not recommend those inspections. On the 12th, Taiwan sends experts to Wuhan. On the 14th, the WHO said there is no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission. On the 20th, Taiwan starts its national response to fight the new coronavirus, but the WHO waited until January 30th to declare a global health emergency. Former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, says the American people have every right to ask the WHO questions. She said, we deserve to know why we didn't listen to Taiwan, but listen to China.
All right. Excellent. That's hard to do in a minute.
Yeah, a lot of information in there today.
Now, I did see something very recently. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he's going to cut funding for the WHO. And I know that the U.S. is one of the largest, if not the largest,
That's right.
sponsor. Right?
He said that he's going to cut for 2 or 3 months pending a review of how the WHO handled the crisis. Now, we don't know if this is going to go through because the U.S. Congress, the Democrats, are against it. There's a lot of criticism from other foreign leaders, even Bill Gates, who is a major donor to the WHO.
Yes.
But, you know, the WHO should be held accountable, and a lot of people, about 1 million, almost 1 million, actually have started an online petition calling for him to step down.
This is the head of the WHO,
yes.
Yeah? Okay.
So they are trying to hold the WHO accountable in different ways, and we'll see how that plays out.
Well, thank you so much, Natalie, and that's Taiwan Explained for this week.
So what do people in Taiwan think of the problems with the WHO? Well, I spoke to a top news show host, Catherine Chang, and asked her what she thought of the New York Times ad.
I think the ad is excellent. It's really excellent. You know what? First, it really kind of simple, and it really kind of bring your heart to it. During this isolation, it said that we want to be solidarity. That means we want to work together. They also said you cannot really isolate Taiwan. Why? Because Taiwan is here to help. And Taiwan know how you suffer because we have been isolated for many years, and we are kind of devastating for the SARS of 2003. So I think this ad is very successful. You know, New York is now kind of devastating about the whole thing. And if you put it on the New York Times, that would mean something, I think. That would mean something to the American people, I think so.
We also talk about the WHO director and his claims that the people in Taiwan have a racist campaign against him.
I'm kind of disappointed that Tedros was something about that because I felt that he is kind of worried about what he did or he know what he did wrong. So he just bring up the idea and saying that, oh, all of you just discriminate me. It's a racial thing. But he didn't understand that in Taiwan we don't have such a problem as racial. I mean, we don't criticize you as you're black or something, you know. So the whole thing is out of imagination. I'm kind of disappointed that he would say anything like that.
Yes.
That means he's not really capable of that position. That's what I think. And also Taiwan did very well, and he kind of got a pressure from China, and he kind of maybe a cover up for the Communist Party, or maybe he really did receive the letter from our Taiwan government, and he just ignored it. So I think he had a lot of trouble.
I also asked Catherine why she recently launched the new English news program called The View with Catherine Chang.
I know that I'm not a native speaker, but I treat myself as the #1 anchor in Taiwan, and I want to express my point of view, which is the Taiwanese point of view to the world. It's really I'm kind of shocked that a lot of people they don't speak Mandarin, that maybe they're in Africa, they're in the States. They send message to me. They say they watch a show and they really love it. They think they can understand what's going on in Taiwan.
Well, that's great.
You know what? That I've been working as an anchor and host like for how many years? Like 20 something.
Yeah.
It really reveal my age, 20 something, 30 years old. But you know, I never thought that I changed language and I can reach so many people. So that's a good thing.
The View with Catherine Chang is available every weeknight on YouTube. And we'll also have the full interview that Natalie did with Catherine, also available on YouTube and on Facebook.
This week on #Taiwan, I want to talk about the color pink. Now, last week's segment, we talked about how there's a shortage of face masks worldwide, which means people can't really get picky with them. But on April 12th, the Central Epidemic Command Center held its daily press conference, and one reporter asked a question which caught a lot of attention and turned a lot of heads. Check it out.
因为口罩颜色也不能选择，所以有家长反映，小男生不肯戴粉红色口罩上学，因为会被同学嘲笑。那请问指挥中心这边有没有观察到家长这些烦恼？那有什么防范措施吗？辛苦指挥官了，谢谢。
So the problem is, young school children, particularly boys, don't really want to wear pink face masks to school because they're afraid they're going to get picked on by their classmates. Now, the CECC knows that it needs to lead by example. For instance, they separated each other during their press conferences when they implemented social distancing measures. So people were touched when Health Minister Chen Shizong and his team of CECC leaders came out the very next day all wearing pink masks. Their message, very clearly, was, pink's not so bad.
只要跟小朋友讲，就是说，其实口罩的颜色，都一样，那粉红色其实不错，可能大家都年纪比较小，我们小时候最喜欢看的那个卡通影片就是那个粉红豹嘛，可能大家都不太知道，我们那个时候确实那是很红的，非常红的一个颜色。
Just when you thought you couldn't like him anymore, he goes off and does something like this. You're so likable, Minister Chen. You're so lovable. Anyway, it's true, pink is the new hotness for 2020, much like neon was in the 90s. But what's more important is that the health leadership actually ignited a campaign to remove the stigma from the color pink. And oh boy, did people jump on that. You have corporations, TV stations, political parties, government agencies, schools, museums, travel agencies, and even your favorite Taiwan news show rocking pink logos. Now, I haven't done a Leslie Liao pick of the week in a while, and that's my bad. I dropped the ball. But I got a doozy for you this week. This image comes from the Coast Guard Administration of Taiwan, and in it they ask, what's wrong with pink masks? And they have all the roles of the Coast Guards rocking pink masks, boy band style. Isn't that just great? And for those of you who just want to get saturated by the color pink, I have a collection of hashtags here that you can go and log into your social media and go look up and just get completely saturated with those pink hues. You have hashtag colors don't have gender, hashtag colors are genderless, hashtag colors have no gender, hashtag pink mask men, and my favorite, hashtag pink is the color of heroes. Now, to any boys that might be watching who are a little afraid of wearing pink masks, I have a fun fact for you. Did you know that in fact pink used to be a boy color? The reason why is because men used to wear a lot of red and boys were seen as just little men, so they just wore a lighter shade of red, which is pink. And I can't lie, guys, I'm not even gonna front. I'm a big fan of pink. There's nothing wrong with it. That's all I have for you this week. Until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, and Andrew and Natalie, once again, stay away from each other, please.
All right, thanks a lot, Leslie. And as you can see, I have no problem with wearing pink masks either, Natalie.
It looks nice on you. It matches your outfit.
Thank you. And I want to say I've been wearing this since before they were even popular.
Actually, we like pink, as you can tell. So that's it for hashtag Taiwan. Now, let's go to Taiwan by number.
All right, if you're a baseball fan, you're definitely going to want to watch this. Taiwan is one of the only places in the world where pro baseball is in play. Isn't that incredible?
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. And in today's Taiwan by Number, we're going to be talking about baseball in Taiwan. Now, if you want to watch some of the games, look for Chinese Professional Baseball League. It sounds confusing, but that's the league that's played here in Taiwan. Now, the season started last weekend, Natalie. And when the season started, there was one thing that was absent, and that is fans in the stadiums. However, one team, the Rakuten Monkeys, came up with an ingenious idea for packing the stands. They're using robotic fans. Isn't that crazy?
That's funny. Only in Taiwan.
Only in Taiwan.
Made in Taiwan.
High tech plus baseball. It's a marriage of two very popular things here. So my first question for you is, how many robotic fans will the Monkeys pack the stadiums with?
Interesting. 20?
20? All right. That's
no
a
idea.
Very good guess. For the answer, we go to this video.
Taiwan is one of the only countries in the world to give the go-ahead to professional baseball. Social distancing rules mean no fans will be allowed into the stadium to watch the game, but the Rakuten Monkeys have come up with a creative way to fill the stands all the same. The Monkeys have teamed up with a robotics company, getting the company to make robotic mannequins dressed up like fans. Come game day, the team will have 500 robots cheering them on. The cheerleaders that usually cheer the Monkeys will also be kept out of the stadium through the season because of social distancing rules, but they are still attracting attention. That's because of an eye-catching series of face masks they've designed, one for each of their fellow cheerleaders and each of the Monkeys players. The masks look just like the bottom half of their faces, making it hard to tell if they have masks on at all. Just don't get them mixed up.
All right, now before the video, I asked you, Natalie, how many robotic fans the Rakuten Monkeys will have in the stands. You said 20.
Right.
Let's have a look at the answer.
500? They have that many robots?
Isn't it crazy?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So I guess the baseball players don't have to worry about having no one to cheer them on. They'll definitely have some robots.
That's a lot of fans out there.
All right, so Taiwan actually has a very long and proud history of baseball. When was the first official baseball match in Taiwan?
Oh, wow. 1898?
1898.
I have no idea.
It's actually not a bad guess. It was better than your last guess. Let's have a look at the answer.
Oh, wow.
1906.
Wow,
that's
cool.
right. I should mention that this is before Babe Ruth actually started playing for the Boston Red Sox in 1914. So it's pretty early on. It wasn't professional baseball, but it was a first official
That's really
match.
cool.
Now, one of Taiwan's proudest moments in its baseball history was when the Chinese Taipei team, that's Taiwan's team, won silver at the Olympics in Barcelona in 1992.
Oh.
And that was the first time that they had baseball at the Olympics as an official sport.
Wow, we got a silver. That's great.
That's right. But I'm not going to ask you about that. I want to ask you about something that makes people in Taiwan even more proud, and that's the Little League Baseball. Yeah, so you even know what I'm going to talk about, right? So actually, Taiwan has won more Little League World Series in baseball than any other country in the world.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So my question for you is, how many Little League World Series baseball championships has Taiwan won?
Let's say 12.
All right, also not a bad guess. Let's look at the answer.
Wow, 17. That's
17.
a lot.
Yes, and that stadium
That's
that you can see there
wonderful.
in the picture, that is actually where they play the Little League World Series, and that's in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Now, I want to ask you, when was the very first time that Taiwan won this championship? It was a very proud moment for Taiwan.
Was it something like 1969?
1969, that is an excellent guess. Let's look at the answer.
Wow! I remember something like that.
That's right, 1969. Let's take one more look at that photo there.
That's really cool.
And look at those pictures. Look at the little kids.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Look at the huge crowds
That's
that were lining the
amazing.
streets of Taipei to welcome them back home. I mean, you can tell just how important baseball is to the people of Taiwan. It was a really proud moment in Taiwan's history. Can you imagine being that little and then having like a ticker tape parade for you when you come home?
Yeah, I think I remember reading about that. So it's really special.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to be able to bring you this look at baseball history here in Taiwan. You can see how important it is to the people of Taiwan and why it's so great that we have professional baseball being played in a safe environment. So if you can't see your favorite team at home, perhaps you can watch some of the Chinese Professional Baseball League, the official league of baseball here in Taiwan.
Now it's time for our lightning round news quiz, and you can play along at home if you like. Andrew, you have 60 seconds
Oh, okay.
to answer as many questions as you can
All
from
right.
the news this week.
Okay, I'll do
All
my
right?
best.
Are you ready?
No. Never.
Okay, ready, go. What new way could Taiwan people get masks this week?
Through a vending machine.
Very good. What was the Grand Hotel celebrating with special lights on Tuesday?
0 new cases of coronavirus.
Right. What are some new places you need to wear a face mask now?
Department stores.
Right. Also night markets, traditional markets, post office, and next week banks.
Okay.
How many times have U.S. military aircraft flown near Taiwan in the past 3 weeks?
3 weeks, 10 times?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Starting Saturday, due to stricter restrictions, people traveling back from the U.S. and Europe might have to do what?
Do quarantine at an official center.
That's right. What's Taiwan's baseball league doing to make it more accessible to global viewers this week?
Oh, they're doing English podcasts.
That's right. Taiwan donated $10 million, not $10 million, 10 million masks to countries around the world in its first round. How many are they donating in their second round of donations?
6 million.
That's right. What did President Tsai have in common with 6 other heads of state who were commended by Forbes for having the best coronavirus response?
I know this one. They're all women.
That's right.
Did I get them all right today? I think
you did. And this is what the article said. I mean, I was really proud when I read this, I guess because I'm a woman. So.
Yeah.
They said they've led with clarity, compassion, and decisiveness rather than, quote, denial, anger, and disingenuousness seen in other not female leaders.
I saw an article on CNN about that as well. Also
yes, they
about
highlighted that. So
women
I
are
think
doing a good job leading us through the coronavirus.
I think women, I mean, they're not as political, at least those women weren't as political in dealing with the crisis. They just face it head on. And they're doing a great job.
Dealing with it as a health issue rather than a political issue.
That's right.
Good.
All right, so good job.
Thank you.
Very good job, Andrew. And that is our news quiz for the week.
Well, we sure hope you enjoyed this attack from Taiwan. Be sure to connect with us on social media.
Yes, leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I am Natalie So.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. See you next week.